Good afternoon, Big Brother fans. It is Monday, September 23rd, day 70. And as I said, afternoon. The Power Veto meeting took place a couple of hours ago. And Mackenzie went through with the plan that was put in her head by Chelsea for the most part, in my opinion. Chelsea, in my opinion, quote, masterminded getting Leah on the block. Her explanation to Mackenzie being that Leah was putting Mackenzie in a bad light by saying she's in a showmance or a potential showmance or wants to be in a showmance, however it was put with Cam. And so we know, you and I, right? We know that Chelsea has some kind of a thing for Cam. So she's been kind of jealous of Cam's fawning over Mackenzie, and Cam has been kind of fawning over Mackenzie. He fawned over Leah too. He's fawned over the women, and he's been telling Chelsea all along that no, I just do that because that's my way of, making sure I'm good with people. But I'm in good with you. But still didn't sit well with Mackenzie, and I think she decided to take her wrath out on Leah, and she threw Leah under the bus very hard to Mackenzie in the last 24 hours. And so this is the result. Leah is now nominated. Chemo was saved. So it is now Angela versus Leah. And I can tell you exactly what has happened since the Power Veto meeting ended. And it ended like right after. I mean, the Power Veto meeting ending. It looks like the feeds came back pretty darn close to after the Power Veto meeting ended. I'm going to go back and clip that, actually, get a clip of it. But what we saw was people walking out of the living room, I remember, and Leah headed back to the bathroom where she did her makeup or did whatever she did for a little bit. Angela stayed in the living room, and she talked with Chemo for a little bit and said, like, to Chemo, this isn't your fault, like, I guess because he got saved. They talked, and then Leah came through, and she said something about that she's been a fool or she's stupid or something, and went back to the bedroom, to the unicorn bedroom where she hung out when Quinn was, in a bad way, and or when Joseph was nominated, when Quinn put up Joseph, right? And Angela went back and talked to her. All of the other house guests went up to see Mackenzie, who was crying in the head of household room because she had to do that. And yet they all reassured her that she did the right thing. Rubina made a point to say, did you notice she didn't look at, or maybe Mackenzie said she didn't look at me and she didn't hug me. This happens every year, guys. And I have said this every year on times like this. And we are getting to the nitty gritty now. We are getting to you're getting rid of people that you do kind of like, but you've got to justify it in your brain. And the justification started with, she didn't look at me. She didn't hug me. We always hug each other even after we do the hard things, and she didn't do it. Again, so it's not my fault, it's her fault. I put her up, but it's her fault for not taking it graciously, right? Leah is downstairs crying to Angela. Mackenzie is upstairs crying, and she's surrounded by Cam, Chelsea, Chemo, and Rubina. Those are all the people who it is very much in their favor for Leah to go. Now, I think it's less advantageous for Mackenzie for Leah to go, of all those people. I'm not saying that Leah had some undying loyalty, and Leah can proclaim that, but let's all be honest here. This house has been very unsticky with its loyalty. So, Leah could just as easily have gotten rid of Mackenzie next week if that came to it. It's not. There's no one is innocent here. There is no halos above heads like, oh, they're all right. They've been doing nothing wrong. It is what it is. So, where are we at? So they're all upstairs consoling Mackenzie, and downstairs Angela and Leah are kind of collectively crying, and Leah gets called to the diary room. I kind of tuned out at that point. I'm like, oh, this is going to go on forever. So Leah got called to the diary room. I saw that, Angela goes upstairs to talk to them upstairs. And as soon as she walks in the room upstairs, I guess Chelsea made an excuse to go get Mackenzie some water or something. But then as soon as she got out of there, then Mackenzie said, hey, can I talk to Angela alone? So she kicked Cam and Rubina out of the room and maybe Chemo. I don't know. But it ended up just being Angela and Mackenzie talking. And that's when Mackenzie started her justification to Angela about, I'd gotten word that Leah was talking bad about me and she's planning these ideas. And Angela's like, she never said this stuff to me. And Mackenzie's like, well, you don't know what you don't know sometimes. And you know what? Leah could be telling the truth, but I can only go by what I'm being told. Let's see. Who's telling her these things? The people that want her gone. And Leah doesn't have anybody left to defend herself because Leah only has Angela for an alliance member at this point, right? So yeah. So, anyways, that talk went on for a little bit. Then they ended up going downstairs and outside talking. It just developed into a Mackenzie talking about all the reasons why she was validated in doing what she did, and she's only going to get positive reinforcement from virtually everybody. Angela's not gonna. What can she say? And what does it matter? What's worst case is no. Leah really is faithful to you. Okay, well, and I guess we get rid of you, Angela. So Angela's between a rock and a hard place. So I don't think Leah has a chance of saving herself. But then again, stranger things have happened this season, right? It's been a wacky season. I suspect Leah will get voted out. It very well could be unanimous. I don't know why anybody would. What's the point of not voting? What's the point of not voting for Leah and voting for Angela? That means that Angela's going to be like, well, who didn't vote for me? It's potential, but I don't anticipate that's what's going to happen. But we're at Monday. We have Tuesday, Wednesday for all this to be figured out. So we'll settle in. We'll see if Leah decides to come out of the bedroom, because when she finally did come out of the diary room, she went straight back to the bedroom, crawled under a blanket in her bed. And we saw Leah spend a full day in that bed a few weeks ago. So who knows? I don't know if she's going to do it for 3 days. Leah seems somewhat resilient. She may come out. I don't know. We'll see. I think at some point she'll have a talk with Angela or with Mackenzie, but there's nothing she can say, and it can't be changed at this point. There is no AI arena to save her. There is no other than they decide to go after Angela, and Mackenzie doesn't have a vote, right? So yeah, that's where we're at, guys. I don't know. We're getting towards the end game here. We're at 7. We'll be down to 6 and to 5 after Thursday. Because remember, Thursday is a double eviction, and Wednesday night is a 90-minute show. So we'll see what happens at the double eviction. But we've got several more of my little car casts to talk to before then. All right. With that, I'm going to sign off. I will give those of you at the very end a little doggy update. My dog is still doing okay. Not great, but not terrible. It's kind of it's just, yeah, it is what it is. We don't know what's going on, and that's why I was off today, and I will be going back to work tomorrow, I think. But she's far from out of the woods, but I can't take off too much work, and she seems to be hanging in there, I guess is the best way to put it. So anyways, those of you again that have expressed your concerns, thank you. I do not want to bring this podcast down with doggy woes, and that doesn't mean I don't love my dog, but at the same time, there are people that are just like, that's not why I'm listening to this. I got my own pets to think about, and I agree 100%. So just want to throw it in there because I know there are people concerned, and I will not do a doggy update every single one of these, but I figured I'd toss one more in here. So, all right. That's what I got. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. We'll see if anything's changed. Take care. Bye-bye.